All right, we have a Wednesday recap today. Um, Not the best day for me. Pretty bad actually. I'm like 2.2% down on my account after being 2% up yesterday. So I'm below where I started on the account, but it's how it be sometimes. Wednesday, 10:30, like orange folder, so really not waiting for anything. But going into the day, uh we had an S&T with Asia highs, and I was I did want to be bullish just because of where we are in the higher time frame, but today did not turn out to be a bullish day. Um, we came down, swept these lows pre-market, and we came back up right here. But yeah, ES is still holding this gap, and then we got some displacement down pre-market. So uh before anything, New York PM lows were my target. So I was going into the morning right at open, I was short bias. So just looking at the price action, right? Yeah, we swept it right before. Okay. So yeah, right here. Market opens this candle. So right before this candle, right, we come up, there's a 5 minute fair value gap right here, and we have this 1 minute fair value gap. So we come up, we tap into it, we inverse it, but this is not where I would enter ever. Um, Only reason why I didn't take the tap back into this was because we swept this low right here. But um, like if it didn't take that number one, I would put my limit uh right at that gap, tap back in, stops at the highs right there, and then I would ride that down to yeah PM. Obviously went down much lower, but yeah, that's a point. Um, yeah, so there was a 30-second entry right here. I believe it was a just like a inverse 30-second inverse right here, which if I had access to the second chart, that would have been like a perfect trade because my draw was lower, but I just couldn't get into that really. Um, I was thinking of entering out after this closed on the downside right here. Just because we retraced back here, we got displacement back down, but again, I can't see the actual like fair value gaps or price action or anything, so couldn't enter on that. So yeah, missed out on that. But then we started displacing lower after we swept that. So then that I turned to look to the left side, see where we could reverse from. Really, it was right here or like a fair value gap or something. And I believe we had like a 15 minute. Yeah, this little fucking fair value gap. This is what fucked me today. So yes, we did inverse all these gaps with displacement. We look like we're going lower. Like it looks pretty obvious we're going lower. But we have this tiny 15-minute fair value gap. I'm gonna mark it out just so you can see where I went wrong. So, if you're confident in the draw, which today I was confident in the draw, I was confident it was gonna be these previous day lows down here. Um, I was confident we are gonna go down there. So I didn't care that we tapped into this and I took a short here. Let me just yeah. So this was my mistake, right? So we tapped into this 15-minute gap. We didn't get any sign of like an inversion basically. Obviously there's a close beneath it, but um yeah, we didn't get like a tap out of it basically. So we hit this 15-minute gap, we came up, we retraced back into here, and then we got a strong displacement below this low. And I thought I wasn't looking at that 15-minute gap because I was like, okay, the draw is already lower. We're not going to react to that small ass gap. That's where I'm wrong. We can react to these small ass gaps like that, apparently. Um, but yeah, strong displacement, entered off of that. Didn't expect it to come back up here. So a little draw read, instantly got stopped out. It would have been a 3 hour trade. Fine, that's whatever. And then we started coming back up into this leg and sort of strongly. We started it inversing or whatever. But I still wanted those lows. I still think we're bullish. I think that just was a short-term retracement. Um, so yeah, still looking for shorts, right? And I believe like right here, right? So we inverse all of these fair value gaps on to the left, right? Um, yeah, every single gap on besides this small gap up here. We didn't even tap back into it to be honest. But yeah, so I just saw us displacing back up back into the range. Look at the 5 minute. I believe the 5 minute on ES was a lot better. Just to show where I went wrong, I guess. Oh yeah, it was all the way up here. Yeah, so oh wow. Where am I? Bro, where I'm on Tuesday. Holy shit. Okay. Um, yeah, it was right here, right? You know, I think I might just be stupid. No, eh, eh. Yeah, I'm pretty stupid. I just took two bad trades today. I didn't even realize this. Oh my God. But okay, yeah. So ES, right? We had this 15-minute gap, and I saw us like down here. I saw us down here. I was like, okay, we need some strong displacement down. We're not really gonna. I don't think we're gonna retrace back and go higher. Um, I didn't wait for the 15-minute fair value gap to close or the 15-minute candle to close inside the fair value gap. We ended up doing, as you can see, we went all the way back up. Um, maybe Nasdaq. Yeah, Nasdaq was the one that actually wasn't even at that time. Um, but yeah, I just have to wait for the close of the candles. But yeah, basically I took this trade, right? I saw us displace below that low and took it to the withdrawal. And I wanted a little bit of a bigger stop, just because I was pretty confident this low and this low, and like immediately, like these two candles just stopped me out so quick. Um, really, really annoying day today. Um, but something I miss like so clearly is these 15-minute gaps. Sure, we look like we're inversing them, but we can always come back into the range and not inverse them. You can your wicks like pretend this fair value gap is like supporting price or whatever. Your wicks can come all the way up here. It's dragging it a little bit, and then but like as long as it closes back inside the fair value gap, it's still technically valid, except for like a place to support price. So I just have to think about that on the higher time frame. It looks like we're inversing, but did we actually get that inverse yet? No, don't anticipate it, uh, you know, look at what the market gives you. The market didn't give me that inverse, so I should not have entered on both of these trades. Um, let's see. There was another trade I could have taken, which hang on, let me just go on the 1 minute. It might have been on ES, might not have been on ES. I don't exactly remember. It was on both, I guess. Yeah. So it was this one right here. Um, let me just mark it out real quick. Yes, we have this low right here. We just took this minor buy side or sell side, right? So this is why this I was a little skeptical about this inverse. Um, but basically, Nasdaq retraced to I want to say a 5 minute gap. It looks like a 5 minute gap we retraced to. Yeah, we tapped into a 5 minute gap and we inverse this gap cleanly. So, obviously your stops have to be at this high. You really don't want to choke your trade. And if I took it to that 15-minute for value gap, uh, whoa, 7R, Um, but reason why I didn't take that just wasn't confident just because we just swept that and I wasn't sure if we want to go down. But honestly, it's enough when you get if you sweep a minor sell side, minor kind of, you kind of want to like if it's in a fair value gap too, which I don't believe it was. We came down here, we swept out. Holy, why is this so crooked? Yeah, we slipped at that low. There was no fair value gap like combined with it. So if we get a 5 minute tap after that and then an inverse, we're probably going to go lower no matter what. If we get a 5 minute gap tap and then we inverse something, it's a pretty high probability that we're gonna go lower. Um, so yeah, I could have definitely taken that. That should have been something I could have taken. Also, literally, I caught the bottom of this, right? We opened right here, and price action just delivered all of this price action, and I entered down here. Like, unless we're really close to the draw right here, there's no reason why I should be taking a draw read that low. That's kind of ridiculous. But I did, and yeah. So just to go over a couple of things, right? 5 minute gap tap, inverse, perfectly fine. Um, what else? Minor buy side or sell side swept. If it's not paired with for value gap, you can take inverses off of that kind of, just expect a little bit of a retracement and then keep going down. You don't have to expect like a huge retracement. Also, um, oh, excuse me. Make sure when you're looking at these gaps being inverse, make sure they're actually closing before you say it's an inverse. Um, like I thought that things were inversing when they really weren't. Because on like a 50-minute gap, right? We look like we got strongest place and we got everything, and we're about to close below it. There's 6 minutes left or something in the candle, and we're like, this is the bottom of Fairval gap, and we're all the way down here. It can wake up like that. Odds are it probably won't, but you can't just say that. You have to you have to take what the market actually gives you. The market didn't give you that yet until that candle closes. So don't say something inverses when it doesn't inverse yet. Um, and honestly, yeah, that's about it. If I looked at this again, right, we're in this 15-minute for value gap. We get displacement above this high, these highs. We have this for value gap right here. We inverse that for value gap. There's nothing else supporting us. Let me look in the 5 minute real quick to see I'm not just yapping for no reason. Yeah, there's no gaps. There's a 5 minute gap here actually. I'm tripping. But we get that retracement. Get a retracement right here. Oh, that's PM session. Shit. Uh, where would that have been? That would have been like right here. Yeah, so that would have been just a sketchy trade. Um, yeah, I'm just looking at PM real quick, I guess. Where we at? Where we at? Wrong day. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, so we're here, here, equal lows. So there's an SMT divergence. I like that. That would have been beautiful, right? So see this SMT. ES technically is the stronger pair, whatever. Don't mind that drawing. They're equal lows, but still. Oh my God, bro. Such a good setup. I can already tell there's a fire setup. There's no 15-minute gap. There's a 5 minute gap. We inverse that 5 minute gap right here, right? This high should be free. And these highs should be free. Okay, let's drop down. I can guarantee there is a beautiful setup. I'm gonna mark out this 5 minute gap just so I know when I'm reviewing where the 5 minute gap is. Um, do the same thing with Nasdaq. Maybe there's a cleaner setup on Nasdaq, but bums me out. Usually I will get a good trade during the morning, but I think like if I just don't push it, past like 11:15. Just get off, hop on the PM macro or the PM session around let's like probably 1 and just like monitor it. You don't have to be like locked in like morning session, but like if you see the most perfect setup ever, take it, you know? What am I doing? Oh yeah, so I have everything marked basically. 1 minute, yeah. Okay, so what do? We have an S&T at the lows, right? We get displacement above this range. Do we get super close to these highs right here? Okay, we have an SMT at those highs. Actually, the price action was a little kind of shitty, actually. Um, yeah, Honestly, we got to estimate those highs. We got to place them back in the range, but we're inside this 5 minute gap. And okay, right? There's two entries you could have taken right here, right? This fair value gap inverses with that candle, with this candle right here. Stops, put it there. Take profit at these highs. Almost a 3R, right? Or see this right there. You can move your stop or whatever right there. That's safe. 3.2R. That's a perfect spot to add to your position. That is a beautiful ass trade. Oh my God. Is what it is though. Also, yeah, I just want to talk about one thing I need to talk it out to myself, I guess. So when I took these two trades, all right, I'm down a decent amount. I'm basically break even on the account again, but instead of uh 2.5 drawdown, I have 1.5 drawdown. Um, just saying. But when I took those two trades, right, I thought they were perfect hindsight, and they just they weren't. There was obviously a flaw, and I didn't see that. What I saw was I took two perfect trades, and they got stopped out like crazy. Like I was zero ticks in the profit in both of them. Maybe I'm just a bad trader. I don't know. Um, but like I did that shit, right? I lost, and honestly, I don't know if the reason why I stopped trading was because my account got locked out or if it's well, I know it is. That's the reason why. But like, if it wasn't, I don't know if I would have traded that again. I think I might have, and that's a huge fucking problem. I took three trades today, which isn't bad. I would say two you should try to stop, but if you see like a perfect setup, you can take the third one, but like light size. Everything is full size today, so that was mistake number one. I worked on my technical whatever today. That's perfectly fine. And honestly, like this trading shit is just like so lonely, this journey. Like I have like trading people and I see them all profiting, whatever, and everyone's doing good, and then I'm the one like losing. And there's like there's basically like no one to turn to, you know? There's no one to really go and like talk it out or anything. It's kind of just you. And like, sure, I'm comfortable with myself now a lot more than I ever been, but like you always long for just like someone you can talk to about this shit, and really no one's gonna understand that shit like unless it's like your significant other that also trades, which is like odds of that are gonna happen are so slim. I don't think I've ever seen that actually. So it's really not gonna happen, and you just always have to deal with this by yourself. And I've always been like a pretty individual person, but like sometimes you just need that saying from like another person just to help you keep going. And you know, this case it was a little rough today. Um, I crashed the fuck out. I was so pissed after today. And I felt like my whole entire life was over. But really, like, there's a drawdown to your account for a reason. It's not like you you can take winning trades as soon as you get one losing trade, you lose for good. No, like the way I'm risking 1%, but I can lose 2.5%. I can lose five trades risking 1%. It's not over if I lose like a decent amount. It's not completely over. I'm not cooked for good. It's just not like that. And I think that like as soon as I took those two losses, bro, like I'm done. I'm cooked. I need to buy a new account. Like, no, bro. There's always gonna be more opportunities. I know tomorrow there's gonna be plenty of opportunities for me to capitalize on. You know, I mean, honestly, last week, Thursday, 8:30 news, red folder, turned out to be a really choppy day. So we'll see actually. But even that is choppy, I'm sure the PM session is gonna be fine, and I will find a trade to take. There's always a setup where you tap into a 5 minute gap and get a 1 minute inverse with the draw and liquidity being clear. There's almost always a time for that, unless we're in like some really shitty spot, which we're not right now. So know that on my mind. I'm gonna come in tomorrow with a better mindset, I'm gonna implement these rules that I figured out today. Don't be anticipating these inverses. Wait for them to actually close and then go off of that. Because you don't go off of anticipatory inverse fair value gaps unless you're well, there is, you can, but like on the time frames that I trade, I can't do that. You can do that with a 1 minute for value gap. You can't really do that with a 15-minute for value gap. You have to trade on the 15-minute time frame in order for that to happen. So these higher time frame for value gaps, mark out every single one of them, no matter how small they are. Um, and just make sure they fucking inverse, you know? Um, and yeah, just looking forward to using that for the future. Yeah, again, today was a rough day, but we come back tomorrow and we come back better than today. And, you know, this shit will pay off eventually. It's just me right now and super lonely, but it will pay off 100%. No doubt in my mind, this shit will fucking pay off.